Today, I wanted to talk about the 6 characteristics of a leader. Some of these, they're going to make sense to you, but other ones, maybe it's the first time you've heard them. But one thing I want to define first is what is a leader? A true leader. They're not born, by the way. Nobody's born a leader. It's truly a way of thinking and a way of understanding. And leadership really comes down to a skill of influence, not position. So if you've ever convinced someone to do anything, then you're a leader. If you've convinced yourself to do something, then you're leading the most important person in the journey of leadership, which is yourself. You have to lead yourself before you can get anyone else on board. And the greatest leaders, if you've ever seen any great leader, you know that they are mastering themselves first and they're influencing their decisions in a positive way. Because I always say, I got to lead me before I can lead we. And that leads me to my next point. They choose their emotions. I know on a daily basis, something bad happens to you, right? It happens to me too. I get a nasty email, one of my kids gets in trouble, my business isn't having a great time. How do I let that affect me? Well, leaders choose their emotions in terms of they don't wear them all the time. So something that Tony Robbins recommends, and I just love this so much, is the 90-second rule. Let yourself feel sad, mad, frustrated, any of those emotions that really aren't productive for 90 seconds. After 90 seconds, move to something of productivity. So if your business isn't doing well, have that 90-second pity party and then realize, what can I do right now to change this? Maybe I need to talk to more people. Maybe I need to write more content. Maybe I need to meet with more businesses. Whatever it is that moves it in your business, you move into that, not pity party. That doesn't solve anything because you have control over your emotions. And if you look at every leader, you see it over and over again, which leads me to the next one, which is failure. They fail hard, but they keep going. Failure is a tool for them. If you look at somebody like Abraham Lincoln, that poor man lost so many elections. He had children die. He had so many awful tragedies around him and failure in his career. And yet he's one of the greatest presidents we ever had, right? Because nothing stopped him. By owning his emotions, also learning from his failures, he kept going. The true definition of failure is stopping. So if you look it up, it says something along the lines of, I quit what I was doing, basically. That's failing. So like you failed a class. That means you stopped the class, right? Well, on a daily basis, if you failed at a task, what do? You just pick yourself up and you do it again. You learn from it and you keep going. And that is what leaders do. I think it's one of the guys that said, I learned 10,000 ways to not make a light bulb. I love that quote. It's one of my favorites. But the other thing is they have a commitment to something bigger than themselves. Do you have a commitment to something bigger than you are? I personally am committed to create more leaders in this world. I want every single person on earth to love what they do and feel passionate about it. And the only way I know how to do that is be fully committed to it myself. It's bigger than me. It's not about me. I've already found that for me. Now I want everyone else to have that. And leadership is about that. Servant leadership is about that. Having something for the greater good is incredibly important. And that leads me to motivation. Now, I know you've probably heard, oh, leaders are great motivational people and blah, 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 and that's great. It's not that they're great motivators, stop. It's that they're great motivators in figuring out what motivates you and you and you and you. So every single person is motivated a little different. And I know when I managed people, oh my goodness, and I say managed, I was not leading. I was managing people because I thought I could tell every single person the same thing and everyone would just do their thing and kill it. No, that is not it. That is not leadership. That is management. Leadership is where you find what motivates each individual person and you bring those people along in their language. Once I harnessed this power, I took my team to heights that I never knew possible. And that's what leadership is. It's motivating people in their motivational language. And also not being afraid of hiring people that are smarter than you. So the power of we is really what motivates and catapults leaders into a broader stage, a bigger platform in the spotlight. If you think about it, it's not just a guy that did a thing. It's the fact that he was able to communicate to a team of people that are smarter than him, faster than him, stronger than him or her. And in those people, he made a much deeper impact because there are more people. So if you can take your message to a stronger, larger platform, that's what leaders do. They acknowledge that there are people who are better at the doing than I am. Let me empower those people, hire those people, and run a stronger, better organization. That is truly where it comes from. And, the last one, which is near and dear to my heart, is they constantly plan. They are planning the plan to plan. It is so important that they have not plan A, but plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So when you talk to great leaders and you talk about, well, we've had so many great years in the economy, there's going to be a downturn. They've already planned for that. They have a plan B. They know what's next for their business. There are going to be shifts in technology. I know everybody's into AI these days. They probably have a plan for that in their business. And if they don't, then they're probably the next Blockbuster and they're not truly leaders. They're always planning because the landscape is always changing. And they're flexible in that plan. It's really important to understand that because a plan is great on paper, but sometimes in action, it doesn't always work that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. Being flexible, but having options and having it fleshed out, wow, that puts you in the driver's seat. So when you think about the 6 characteristics of leadership, I want to run through these one more time with you. They choose their emotions. They are committed to something bigger than themselves. Failure doesn't exist because it's viewed as learning. They understand the power of we. They know how to motivate others in that person's language, which is incredibly important. And finally, they constantly plan. Today, if you love this video, I want you to subscribe to my channel because every week I'm going to bring you something like this. I hope it was helpful and I hope you have a great day.